On Apollo 13, we had an incident. Oxygen tank 2 had electric short when the cryos were stirred, which is running a little egg beater that stirs up the liquid, which tends to stratify in the liquid oxygen hydrogen tanks, primarily to get good quantity readings. When that was exercised, we suffered an electric short in the tank, which caused an explosion, expansion of gases to blow the tank apart and blow a good part of the spacecraft off. And what followed then was a period from initially where we understood we lost the second tank, or at least for me, pretty quickly I knew we had an abort. So it was very disappointing, sick feeling in my stomach. I knew we had lost the landing mission and it was going to be an abort. It then went into a period of troubleshooting because immediately it wasn't apparent that we had lost the second tank, so it was not life-threatening. I thought we would just come back with everything powered up. But slowly it became apparent we were going to lose the second tank, so there was a lot of urgency and a lot of work going on by people on mission control and their support team to try to isolate the leak in the second tank to save that tank. Sometime later after the mission, I did get to listen to the tapes within Mission Control, which are not public. The only public is the radio transmissions, air to ground to Mission Control, back and forth. And I knew these people working the problem, and I found it, could tell from the inflection in their voices when they had run out of ideas. It was apparent they were down. And of course, Glenn Lunny, who was the flight director at the time on duty, his team had replaced Gene Kranz's white team, called him back to attention to power down this vehicle. And what I was really amazed at is all that troubleshooting they had done and the power down of the command module was totally ad-libbed. We lived by books, a checklist, very rigid, structured procedures. And in that time period, which lasted roughly an hour, they were ad-libbing what was going on. No books, no references, just what was inherently in their brains and their understanding of the systems, which I thought was a tremendous job that was done by the people in the command module to get it then safely powered down without the damage and anything, have it gracefully powered down. Following that, Jim Lovell and I had actually left Jack alone after a point. Jack Swigert was the other crewman, and Jim Lovell and I left to go power up the LEM when we knew it was a lost cause. And we did get very quickly through a activation procedure. We at least a book to start from, which was the LEM lunar module power up, but we had to cut out a lot of stuff to hasten the time to get it up, and deleted sections of the book as we went through it. We were sitting there, and I just noticed at one point over my shoulder, Jack Swigert had arrived. By that time, he had shut off his machine because he was the command module pilot. And the lunar module is quite a different craft. The command module is built like a battleship to survive the rigor of launches and entries. The lunar module is protected during that period and is built to operate in vacuum of space, no air, and so it's quite delicate. A lot of things done to make it super lightweight, and it made different noises. You could hear the pumps, glycol pumps, and they had gurgling sounds, and the cabin fan running, those sorts of things. And Jack queried us, just looked at him, because he had never been in a lunar module before in his life. He was the command module expert, had lived in the development before he became a astronaut with North American Aviation as a test pilot in the development of that vehicle. And he just casually said, do you think this thing will make it? Because he worried about all the way it sounded and the strange sounds. And I just told Jack, I said, well, all that gurgling and stuff you hear, only worry if you stop hearing it.